Hello, everyone. Welcome in.
Morning.
Morning.
I think we will go ahead and kind of jump in and get started here with a few housekeeping announcements, and then I will introduce our speaker. So just a few housekeeping things. Um, First and foremost, thank you for joining us today for our chapter meeting. I'm really excited that everyone's here. As always, thank you very much to our annual partners of Metro Milwaukee SHRM. Without their support, we would not be able to provide such great events and programming. And members, thank you to our members of Metro Milwaukee SHRM. We look forward to continuing to foster your professional development in human resources and provide you with educational events and networking opportunities. To those of you who are not yet members, we'd love to chat. Metro Milwaukee SHRM offers individual memberships so that you can attend our events like the one today for free. We also have corporate memberships to those organizations that would like to offer membership to their HR teams at a discount. So if anyone has questions relating to membership, please contact us at office@metromilwaukeeshrm.org. Do you want to reach other HR professionals? Ask us about our 2027 partnership opportunities where you can make your marketing time, efforts, and dollars go farther. And are you already a member of Metro Milwaukee SHRM? Consider joining SHRM National to unleash your full HR potential. Feel free to connect with our admin at office@mmshrm.org with any questions about joint membership. And as a reminder, please feel free to share your experience today on social media using the hashtag MMSHRM, as well as completing the feedback survey in your inbox after the program. And thank you to our 2026-2027 Metro Milwaukee SHRM Board of Directors. Feel free to connect with any of us with any questions or feedback about our association. If any of you are interested in getting involved, please consider joining one of Metro Milwaukee SHRM's committees. Use the QR code on the screen to learn more. We're always looking for more members to help organize these events and other great Metro Milwaukee SHRM offerings. And we're always on the lookout for new programs and speakers. So if you're interested in presenting or know of a speaker, please use the QR code on the screen to submit your proposal, or feel free to forward to someone that you think would be a great fit. So for our virtual session today, it's titled Building Resilience in Times of Transformation. Our presenter is Corey Hoffman, who is dedicated to transforming workplace experiences and empowering teams to reach new heights. Corey equips individuals to confidently tackle challenges and elevate their impact both personally and professionally. Corey's mission is to help leaders and organizations prioritize their most valuable asset, their people, and to drive success through a culture of continuous learning and growth. Join her to explore how you can move from ordinary to extraordinary and make a positive difference on your team and in your organization. Let's give a warm welcome to Corey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I am so excited to see so many faces. And if you're able to turn your cameras on, if you're at a desk, I would absolutely love it. As we're going to learn today, community is a huge part of resilience, and leaning on your Metro Milwaukee SHRM contacts and colleagues is a great way to build that. So I'd love to see your faces if that's available to you. It'll also make the session a little bit more fun too. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can everybody see Building Resilience in Times of Transformation?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, as was mentioned in the introduction, my name is Corey. I'm a leadership coach and culture consultant with a company called The Perk. I began my career as an HR director in the local government sector. Actually, I worked for the Village of DeForest, if you're familiar with the Wisconsin area. But I was an HR director there, and that's where I really built my resilience before I even knew what resilience was. But talk about doing a lot of things with very little resources and having all of your ideas be at the mercy of 7 board members with their own agendas is definitely a test in resilience. I am also a mom of 3 tiny humans. I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. They're pictured here. They test my resilience every single day. And I am fortunate to be on the amazing PERK team that's also pictured here that allowed me to practice my resilience when I transferred out of the public sector and into the private world. It's been quite a journey and one I am very grateful for. And I also get the opportunity to practice resilience every day with groups like you and our clients as well. I spend my days at the park creating experiences that transform the way people lead and change them forever. So we are not here for one and done experiences or shots of information. We are really here to create a system for learning and development. And the way that we do that is through our middle manager training protocol program. Our program is a 12-month learning development program focused on 4 training topics. So the system is broken up into training, group coaching, and peer pods over a 12-month period. And it is a combination of those things that create transformation. The module that you are getting to experience today, resilience, comes from our time and energy mastery module. So this is one of our 12 training skills that we teach on. And so today I'm excited to share a piece of that with all of you. We always start off our sessions with ground rules and expectations just to set us up for success and to know what to expect in the session. So first off, I would love for everyone to be present. I know that's tricky in a virtual world with such close access to emails and notifications and all that good stuff, but I really encourage you to set all of that aside for this time. Really give yourself the gift of this time to be here and focus on your learning and growth. I would love for you to ask questions, take yourself off mute, put it in the chat, whatever is most convenient for you. We'll do some exercises along the way that hopefully we can hear your voices as well. Be open-minded. We love this saying. Everyone has something to learn. Everyone has something to teach, regardless of your role or experience. I'm so excited to learn from you, your resilience story and journey. I have a few slides. I hope you learned some things from me too. Last but not least, we believe learning and development should be fun and something that everybody looks forward to. So we've got the virtual confetti. We're going to have some fun along the way. Sound good? All right, I see some head nods. We're ready to dive in. Great. Let's get to it. So, starting off right away with some fun, we're going to do 3 P's of connection. So this is where we're going to lean into that alliance. I'd love for you to engage. As I mentioned at the welcome here, community is such a huge part of building resilience, and we have a chance here in this room to get to know each other. So I'd love for you to respond to these questions. 1, passion. What's something that you could talk about for hours without getting bored? 2, personal. What's a life experience that has shaped you? And 3, problem. What's a challenge you're facing right now? Are there any brave volunteers that would be willing to take themselves off mute, be a little vulnerable, share with the group?
I can go ahead and start.
Thanks, Amanda.
Passion, something that I could talk about for hours is probably books. I love talking to people about what they're reading, what their favorite books are. So I could talk about that forever. Personal, what's a life experience that has shaped me? I would say I moved from South Dakota, where I grew up my entire life, out to Wisconsin for a job, moved away from all my family and friends. So that was a big move for me, but something that definitely has impacted me in a positive way. And a challenge I'm facing right now would probably be my kid's first day of school was today. So just navigating the school starting, work-life balance, figuring out that whole new routine again.
Yes. Oh, how was it? How was it to get everybody out the door this morning?
It was fairly smooth, surprisingly. So it was a successful drop off.
Good. They've got the first day excitement. They're ready to get into it. We'll check in with you next week to see how things are going once they get settled in. I see a hand raised. I'm sorry, I don't know your first name. A. Willman.
Sorry, yeah, my name is Alicia.
Hi,
Um,
Alicia.
but happy to share. So something I could talk about for hours without getting bored. Pretty much any sort of community involvement
Hmm.
that we have within the southeastern Wisconsin area, I could probably talk about forever. And also like just weird historical stuff within Wisconsin and Milwaukee area as well. um,
Cool.
a life experience that has shaped you. I was on my own at a very early age, and during that time, of course, you have different areas that you try to pers get through, we'll say. And at the time, you may not value them as much, but looking back, hindsight being 2020 was very valuable in my time.
Hmm.
And a challenge that I'm facing right now, I'll keep it professional, where it is more, we're doing quite a lot of scaling right now. So change management and resilience is at top of mind.
Great. I'm so excited for you to be here. Thanks for sharing. I see Brooke. Brooke shared in the chat she's born and raised in DeForest. Yay, Brooke! I am actually heading into DeForest this afternoon for a session. So, how about one more person? I'd love to hear your three P's.
I guess I can go. This is Carrie, and I would say something I could talk about for hours, kind of a basic answer. Probably my kids, just talking about all the crazy things they're up to, and it's just really fun, especially just talking to my husband about that. We could go on and on.
Yes.
Aw, I see some hearts. That's nice. Um, a life experience that has shaped me. I would say moving to Milwaukee, maybe 14 years ago. It just really was a significant shift for our whole family and just opportunity for a lot more just things to do and career opportunity and those types of things.
Hmm.
Problem, a challenge. I say, I don't know if I call it a problem, but I'm with two other business partners. We're starting to getting closer to launching a new business. And so a lot of my focus right now is just removing barriers so that we can get launched.
Hmm. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. There'll be more opportunities throughout the session to have your input be heard. So, the reason I picked this is because there's so much in resilience in these questions. Passion, the things that excite us and energize us, are so important to our resilience. Life experiences that have shaped us, whether they're stressful, challenges, exciting things, all help build our resiliency story. And problems, something that we're facing right now, I'm hoping that with the skills that I'm equipping you with today, you can apply those to that challenge and help you navigate that with purpose and confidence. So let's take a look at our agenda. I think I've said the word resilience 100 times already. I'm probably going to say it 100 times more, but that is the objective of today to
This
talk about
message has been
resilience.
transcribed. One moment.
Um, okay, we're going to talk about what resilience is, why it's important, especially during times of change and transformation. I know we're all navigating a lot. And most importantly, where we'll spend the bulk of our time is how to build it. So I'll be giving you 4 actionable strategies to help you build resilience. In the chat here, I'm going to give you access to a document. This is a PDF. It looks exactly what's on the screen here. It's a resilience action plan. It's a fillable document. What you will need to do is download that to the device that you are on. It is important that you download it, save it first, because if you're typing away and close it out, you might not save your changes. So the PDF is in the chat. Feel free to access that, download it, and we'll be working through this as we go through today's session. First things first, I want to do a little check-in. How are we feeling right now? How does work feel for you? You can throw this into the chat if you're Austin Powers, maybe feeling a little stuck at a level 1. You can put a 1 in the chat. 2 is you are just mind mapping everything, a little chaotic, trying to connect the pieces between everything. And 3, life is great, work is great, really couldn't be happier. Where are we at? I'm seeing lots of 2s in the chat. All twos. So things are just a little crazy. We're between one and twos, lots of twos. Oh, Catherine, glad to see a three. Jessica, two. Yeah, absolutely. So I saw lots of twos. So I'm hoping after today's session and with your action plan, you'll be able to use the things we learned to maybe calm the chaos a little bit or at least feel better about the situation that you're in. If you're a three, that's amazing. We all know stress and challenge is just around every corner. So you'll be proactive in this session today with the skills that you get and hopefully be able to deploy them at a later time. All right, let's get into it. We always like to ground ourselves in a definition of the topic at hand. What is resilience? There's a lot of definitions out there, but the one that we like most at the Perk is by Cy Wakeman. Cy Wakeman is an author. A wonderful book, No Ego, is one that she wrote. We read that with a lot of our clients. She's also a consultant and thought leader in this space, and this is how she defines resilience: the ability to stay the course in the face of obstacles and setbacks. When you are resilient, you feel calm, purposeful, and confident in your ability to produce results regardless of your circumstance. You do not necessarily consider throwing up your hands and quitting or resorting to excuses. If you say you have tried to do something, you did not try only one thing, you tried a dozen or more, you persisted, employed problem solving, and asked for help. I know that's a longer definition, but there are some key things in there that we really love. Resilience is your ability to adapt to stressors while maintaining well-being, really focusing on that calm, that purpose, that confidence. It's the ability to bounce back or even bounce forward from difficult experiences. Resilience is what allows us to come out of challenges feeling stronger and more capable the next time we face a similar situation. It's also a skill that's learned and developed. We are not brought into this world with a certain level of resilience. It is something that we can focus on and grow and be intentional about. If we were to put a visual together to show a visual representation of what resilience is, this is it. Just love the video. I'm curious, how does this represent resilience from your perspective? Feel free to put it in the chat or take yourself off mute and share with the group.
I think the ability to just keep, falling down and getting back up and trying again is exactly what resilience is.
Yeah, absolutely. Connie says being able to get up even when there are challenges. Absolutely.
Well,
What
I
else?
think, oh, go ahead. I think he kind of, toward the end, sort of adjusted his approach after he kept, falling lower and lower. And then he sort of adapted so he could bounce higher. And I think it's a good example of just, if you adapt your approach, maybe that's just another way to push through.
Yeah, absolutely. To keep on trying. Sometimes when he bounced back, it wasn't necessarily at the first step. Sometimes it was at the middle. I think at one point he even bounced right back at the top. Yeah. What else did you like about this video?
I think it shows that you can trust yourself. First of all, I love that art video. I've seen that so many times, and some people
Yeah.
hate it, but I love it. But I think it just shows you can
Oh,
trust your ability.
100%. Yes, I love that. Trust your ability. My favorite part is just the liveliness of it, the almost the
Mm.
dancing. I'm falling, I'm getting back up, but I'm choosing to enjoy the experience. I can do it with a little pep in my step along the way. Exactly. I just wanted to take a pause. I know the event coordinators wanted to record the session. I'm not sure if we're recording. Are we recording?
We are.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I missed that. I just didn't want to miss the opportunity. All right. We give the definitions of what resilience is. We also like to talk about what resilience is not. Maybe bust some misconceptions about it. So resilience is not suck it up and do it. Resilience is not grin and bear it or white knuckle yourself through a situation. It does not mean you have to push forward and persevere no matter what. Perseverance can be a very valuable trait and it can help us in certain situations, but for an extended period of time, perseverance can really burn us out and stress us out over a long period of time. So, resilience is really understanding in what situations do I need to persevere. We understand that there are deadlines and things that we have to accomplish. So, under what situations do I need to persevere? And under what situations would it be better to quit? I think back to the Austin Powers little image at the beginning here. If all you can do is move forward a little bit and backward a little bit, at some point it might be best to just get off the vehicle and walk, right? So, resilience is all about knowing when we need to persevere and when we need to quit. A great example of that is Simone Biles. If you're a fan or followed her story or followed Olympics, she withdrew from the Tokyo Olympics, and Adam Grant, he's a thought leader in this space, did an amazing post about it and how, in the lesson that she taught us. Resilience is not about how quickly you bounce back, it's about how fully you recover. You can't judge people's strength when they fall. Their fortitude is visible when they rise again. So Simone really redefined what it means to be resilient. And she all proved that to us when she came back in Paris and just absolutely dominated. So, one thing that's helpful as we're thinking about resilience and building our resilience is to think about a time that we were resilient ourselves. We're so busy, and a lot of times we get into the motions of doing the things. We check the things off the to-do list. We're constantly in motion that we don't take time to think about just how resilient we actually already are. So I want to give you a minute to think of a time in your life when you overcame a challenge. Maybe this was personal, or this could be a professional challenge as well. And I want you to think about, what was the struggle? What was the challenge? What did it feel like before you overcame it? What did it feel like after? What was your mindset? What were the thoughts that you were having during that time of challenge? Who helped you? What did you learn? I'm going to give you a minute to just think about your own experience with resilience and maybe jot down some notes to these questions.
Don't forget your neck pillow, my love. Don't forget your super comfy neck pillow.
I'm not not sure who that is, but we can ask them to mute. All right. I hope that was enough time to think through something that you might have experienced. And if you feel comfortable, I know these stories can be deeply personal, so I'm not going to call on anyone or require anybody to share, but we really can learn so much from hearing other people's experience with resilience and their challenges and how they overcame it. So I would like to invite anyone to share. What is your resiliency story? Is anyone willing to come off mute? Share their experience with us?
I'll share my experience with you.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. So I'm new to SHRM. Last year, about this time, I had been working 5 years helping people with employee benefits and retirement, and I lost that job. And as a middle-aged guy who made some mistakes and also some not my fault, losing that job really devastated. It hurts with your identity and everything.
Mhm.
Shout out to women, by the way. It was all my women friends in my life that really helped me understand both my professional and personal ability to get me
Mhm.
back on track and back in the right job and seeing the value that I could offer.
What was your biggest learning or takeaway from that experience?
That we're not our job and that we have
Mhm.
value. And if we just try to deliver value, that we can help people even if they don't see it and things will work out.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Terry, so much for sharing that. And there's pieces of what Terry shared that you're going to see today, just how powerful community and purpose is to building resilience. All right. There are also some resiliency markers to help us understand that resiliency isn't one single skill or personality trait. It shows up through a variety of behaviors and capabilities. So the 4 boxes here are representing markers you might notice in someone who has developed resilience. So, self awareness, this is all about how much you understand yourself. You can recognize your own emotions, how you're feeling, what your strengths are. You can remember what matters to you and distinguish between what you can and cannot control. Well being is another resiliency marker in that you know how to take care of yourself and regulate yourself. You have practices that help you recover from stress rather than pushing through and gritting and bearing it. Support and connection, like Terry mentioned, you don't try and do everything alone. You lean on your community, you ask for help, you seek perspective from other people, and then adaptability that you can adjust and keep moving. So I would love to use the chat here again and have you share with us which resiliency marker are you particularly good at? When you look at the things, the behaviors that build resilience, which one of these are you like, ooh, I got that one under control. If everything else is going wrong, I can at least do this. Which one pops out to you? You can throw it into the chat. It could be a specific item on here, or maybe it's just the bucket of self-awareness. Okay, great. I see some coming through. Self-awareness, adaptability, lots of adaptability, great. Support, connection, self-awareness, adaptability. So great. Focusing on what's in my control. That is one of the key things we teach in a lot of sessions is focusing on what's in your control. So that's a great behavior to have. Adaptability. Great. Yeah, so as we're building our resilience, it is key to look into ourselves. What are we already doing great? Let's celebrate ourselves for the things that are going well. And we want to know too, which which one could we use more of? And I have a guess because I didn't see it show up in the chat yet. But if you were to look at these resiliency markers, which one are you like, I wish I could tap into that one a little bit more?
Well-being.
Well-being. Yeah, I think that was the obvious answer. Nobody put that as their one that they're already really great at. For sure. Oh, Kathy, I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Um,
Um, if you're just joining, you might want to put yourself on mute. I will give you opportunities to unmute yourself and share. Um, yeah, asking for support can be tough too. I definitely understand that. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. I love that quick little self-assessment so we know some areas that we can work on. So that's a little bit about what resilience is. Let's dive into why is it important? Why is it something that we're focusing on? The research shows us that the ability to bounce back from setbacks is something that can set successful people aside from unsuccessful people. It's what helps people stand out and be successful. The research also shows us that there are big impacts on our emotional, physical well-being in being resilient. If we can be resilient, it promotes physical well-being, mental well-being, and it has a positive influence on our work satisfaction and engagement. And then specifically for times of change and transformation, I'm gonna give you a little pop quiz here. What is the human brain designed for? You can put this in the chat. Is the brain designed to make us happy, to keep us alive, to make us forget people's names right after they tell us?
BOSHSA.
A, B, or C? Oh, you all are so smart. You're on top of it. Yes. I think we could all argue C is also an acceptable answer, but B is the one we're looking for here. Yes, C, depending on the day. Could not agree more. Absolutely. Yes, our brains are designed to keep us alive. Our brains want to conserve energy, keep us safe, and because of that, our brain loves what's familiar. What's familiar is safe, it conserves energy. When we do things in a similar way every day, our brain loves that because it knows we're going to survive. It knows that that's not a threat to us. Change and uncertainty threaten our brain. Doing something different from the norm is the same thing as telling our brain that something is wrong. It looks like this when we experience change. This is shrugging in a corner, alarm bells, lots of things going on in our brain. Got to get off of here so we don't have to watch that a million times. When we're experiencing change, our brain is just going crazy when we're going through change. And oftentimes it can feel like a brain punch. Like there is a painful experience in the brain when we're going through change. And that's because of all of the communication that's happening. So if we look into the brain and the amygdala, that little blue circle there, that is our fight, flight, or freeze response. This is the part of our brain that controls our emotional response. It's on high alert. It's the thing that is going to keep us safe and out of danger. Our prefrontal cortex is at the front of our brain. That is the more executive functioning part of our brain that can override the amygdala and say, hold on, this is okay. We're not in danger here. We're not going to die. And so that constant communication between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala takes a lot of energy, and we actually become fatigued. So if you are in the middle of a really heavy change right now or something really stressful or difficult, and you get to the end of the day and you're feeling just drained and exhausted, that is real. That is real. Your brain is processing a lot of information. There's a lot of communication going back and forth in your brain that is just exhausting you. So that is why we need resilience. It is crucial to navigate the difficulties that we're experiencing. Your brain is using lots of energy, which is causing you to feel physically and emotionally fatigued. So strengthening your resilience is the key to thriving through that with calm, with purpose, with confidence. It also has a big impact on our leadership. So we break leadership into two things, is both the doing and the being. As leaders, there are things that we do, actions that we take. We have performance reviews, we schedule one-on-ones, we set goals. Those are the things that we do. And we all know leaders who do things really well. They can execute a task list like no other, but they still maybe don't build trust or communication or alignment with their teams. And that's where the being portion comes in. This is our presence, our intent, our values, our tone, the emotional state that we present with our teams. And this is where our resilience comes into play. Resilience is our force multiplier when it comes to how we show up as a leader. There's the things that we do and our being, how we show up. And both of those things create our leadership impact. So you're like, great, Corey, we've covered a lot. You told me what it is, why it's important. Let's get to the how. How do we do this? So that's what we're going to jump into now. So there are 4 things that we can do to build resilience, and so we're going to dive into those now. The first thing that I want you to access is that PDF document that I put into the chat. So if you have the chat, it'll be all the way at the beginning of our chat, but it is a PDF document that you can download and fill out. The first thing I want you to do is to choose a change that you want to focus on. So up in the right corner of the PDF document, there is a little box for you to, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Write the change or challenge or stressor that you are currently navigating. And so as we move through the rest of these quadrants, we will pull that back to what you're experiencing. You can even think back to our connection exercise at the beginning. If you were thinking about a problem that you're currently faced with, maybe that's what you want to work through in our session today. But the goal is you'll be tying our learnings directly to that situation. Is everybody able to access the PDF okay? Do I need to re-edit to the chat? Thumbs up. I want to make sure we're good. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. So how to build resilience. The first thing that we're going to focus on is purpose. In order to build resilience, we have to get really clear on our personal connection to the challenge or change that we're facing. Why does this change matter? What is going to help us get out of bed every day to face this challenge or stressor or transformation? Because we know that there are times where we're going to get knocked off the stairs. I think back to the video at the beginning where he's falling off the stairs and getting back up. That's going to happen in the course of the challenge that we're experiencing. So when that happens, on those really hard days, what are we going to do? What is our why? What is our purpose? What is going to help us get off the trampoline and back onto the stair? That is your why. That is your purpose. And to help connect this for you, I have a little scenario that I want you to imagine. So imagine this. It's 5 a.m. It's 35 degrees out. It's raining. You're exhausted. You have to get out of bed and walk 10 miles. These are all of the variables. There's no other context for you to consider. These are the variables. Are you going? It's raining, it's cold, you have to walk 10 miles, you're exhausted. Are you going? I see head shakes. You're like, no way. Why? Why? You haven't given me a reason. What's the purpose? Exactly. Okay. I'm going to add some more variables to this equation. It's 5 a.m., it's raining, it's cold, you're exhausted, and your boss tells you to take the 10-mile walk because it would be good for you. Are you going? I still see head shakes. I'm like, absolutely not. That is not a good enough reason for me. This is like, somehow I want to do this less now. I love that. Okay, another variable. Your best friend texted and asked if you're still on to meet up. It's 5 a.m., you're exhausted, it's raining, it's freezing out, you have to walk 10 miles. Are you going? Yeah, maybe a little movement here. We're considering it. It is our best friend after all. If they're bringing coffee, maybe we'll consider it. No, Denise is like straight up. Still not going. All right, one more variable for you. Someone or something you love is 10 miles away and needs you. Could be your kiddo, could be your puppy dog, parent, a grandparent, someone you love is 10 miles away. It's freezing cold. It's 5 a.m. You have to walk 10 miles to help them. Are you going? We're walking. We're not taking cars. I see yeses. Definitely yes. Yes. I see lots of yeses in the chat. What changed? Wasn't the weather. It's still rainy. It's still cold. Not the distance. Still have to walk 10 miles. You're still exhausted. That didn't change. What changed? Yes, the why. The emotional connection. Spot on. Yes, you're nailing this. That's exactly right. The purpose. We had a purpose. The purpose doesn't make the change, or the purpose doesn't make the circumstance that we're navigating, the stressor, any better. It's still raining, still cold, but the purpose is what gives us reason to move through it. So that is the point of this exercise. In the challenge that you're facing, either personally or professionally, what is your purpose? Why is it important? What do you need to keep getting up to tackling that challenge? So here's some questions that you can think about. What's important to you about this challenge? Why does it matter to you? What gets you out of bed every morning to work on overcoming this challenge? What's it all for? How will the world be different? How will your company be different? How will your team be different if you overcome this challenge? What's the impact? So here's your chance to pull out that action plan and jot a few things down for you. What is your purpose? When you get knocked off the stairs, what reminder do you want to get back up and keep going? What keeps you in the game? What keeps you in the arena? I'll give you a second to reflect on these questions and fill out your action plan. And if you have yours already written down, we'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. You can throw it in the chat. What is your why? What is your purpose? Oh, Nancy, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. This one is my choice. It gives me goosebumps. My North Star is employee advocacy, so it keeps me going in HR among other things. Yeah, so thinking about employees, how can we advocate for them? Thank you for sharing. All right. So our first step in building our resilience is to reconnect to our purpose. What is our why? The next step is to focus on our mindset. Research shows that our mindset plays a significant role in determining the outcomes of our life. Our mindset can be our best friend. It can help us on our journey of who we want to be and where we want to go. Our mindset can also be our worst enemy. It can be a roadblock for us. It can keep us from achieving the things that we want to achieve. There's a really great study, Dr. Blaslato's study out of the University of Chicago, that demonstrates just how impactful our mindset can be. So what he did is he took a group of randomly selected students and divided them into 3 groups. The objective of the group was to improve their free throw shots. So these were not necessarily basketball kids or basketball students. They didn't have a specialty in basketball. It was just a randomly selected group of students, and their goal was to improve their free throw shots. The group was divided into 3 different tasks. Group 1 was our control group, so they did not touch a basketball. Group 2, their task or their objective was to practice free throws for 30 minutes a day. So they're going to the gym, they're shooting the shots, they're holding the basketballs, they're practicing for 30 minutes a day. Group 3, their objective was to go to the gym, but they were not to touch a basketball. They would sit there in the gym for 30 minutes with their eyes closed, and they would visualize themselves making the free throw shots. So group 1, no practice. Group 2, practiced every day. Group 3, visualized every day. Any guesses as to the percent improvement for group 1? Well, I just gave it to you because I clicked my slide accidentally. 0%, obviously, right? They're not practicing. How about group 2? Any guesses what their percent improvement was? 25%? Cherie, have you seen this before? Have you studied this? No? Such a good guess. 24%. They had a 24% improvement. They went to the gym, they practiced, they hit the free throws, they had a 24% improvement. What about the folks that visualized every day? What was their percent improvement? Come on, Cherie. 60%, she says. Ooh, I love it. Love the optimism. Oh, we got some guesses. 50, 43, 50. Lots of optimists. It was actually only a 23% improvement, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is it's only 1% different than the group that was in the gym practicing every day. And all they had to do was sit there and visualize. So what does this study show us? This study shows us just how powerful our brain is. The same parts of our brain that light up when we're doing an activity are the same parts of our brain that light up when we're visualizing ourselves doing an activity. You might have heard of this in sports. A lot of elite athletes will recruit a sports psychologist to help them visualize their success because they know how powerful the brain can be in determining our success. And so we can use this. We can use this in building our resilience and choosing our mindset that will help us own our results. And the way we do that is with the thought model. The thought model is derived from cognitive behavioral psychology. And what the thought model says is that in our life, we are going to be faced with circumstances. There are things that are going to happen. These circumstances are going to be out of our control. They are facts. They are happening. From those circumstances, we will have thoughts. We will have thoughts about those circumstances, ideas, perspectives, ways of thinking about that circumstance. That's our mindset. Those thoughts will evoke feelings within us. Those feelings will drive our actions, and those actions will produce our results. So what the thought model shows us is if we don't like the way we feel about a circumstance, we can pull it back to our thoughts. What are the thoughts that we're having about that circumstance that are causing us to feel that way? What perspective do we need to take in order to feel the way that we want to feel? So we pull it back to our thoughts. What are we thinking? If we don't like the results that we're getting, same thing. Pull it back to our thoughts. What are the thoughts that we're having about the circumstance that are creating those feelings, that are driving our actions, that are producing those results that we don't want? You are not in control of the circumstance. It is happening. But what you are in control of is your thoughts and how you see the situation. So it's helpful to use an example to bring this thought model to life. The circumstance. Your boss tells you there's going to be a change in your priorities. It's happening. It's a fact. The news has been delivered. Our default thought, or what we might initially think about that circumstance is, here we go again. This change will never work. That is a thought we could choose to have. If we're in that place, what feelings might we feel? You can shout them out or put them in the chat. Our priorities are changing and our thoughts are, here we go again. This change will never work. How will we feel? What are some possible feelings here? Frustration? What else? Irritated, powerless. Yeah, if we feel frustrated, irritated, powerless, what actions are we going to take? What are we going to do in that place? I can tell you what I'm doing. I am going down to my neighbor Amanda, and she's gonna hear from me how I feel about this situation. I'm gonna gossip, maybe spread negativity. What else might we do? We're feeling defeated, overwhelmed, frustrated, powerless. What are we doing? What actions are we taking? None. Might not do anything. Yeah. What results are possible if we do nothing? Look for a new job. Yeah. Might be burned out. Don't give up. All right, so what the thought model tells us is in these circumstances, we have a choice. The circumstance is not in our control, but our thoughts are, and that is what we can focus on. So what if we tried on a different thought? Instead of thinking, here we go again, this change will never work, what if we ask some questions? What's possible for me with this challenge or change? What might I learn? What's in my control? What do I need to feel hopeful in this change? If we are approaching this from a place of curiosity, how do we feel now? What feelings might pop up with these thoughts? We're thinking about what the opportunity is here. Yeah, we might feel optimistic. If we feel optimistic, what might we do now? What actions might we take? Get involved? Collaborate? Make a plan? Yeah, I'm already liking where this is going compared to the last route. Start planning how to get it done. Be curious, ask questions. It's a lot different than gossiping and not doing anything, right? And the thing is, actions are what create our culture. The cultures that we want to be a part of are built by behaviors. Our thoughts drive our feelings, create those behaviors. So the thoughts that we have are impacting our culture. What results are possible now if we're advocating for ourselves, asking questions, maybe jumping in, making a plan, collaborating? What results are possible now? Success. Yeah, successful with the changes. Learning. Yeah, absolutely. Completely different results from the mindset we chose before. Growth mindset. Yes. Love that. Learn more. Be ready for your next role. Yeah, thinking about what might come next from this. So that is the power of the mindset. When we have a judgmental mindset, we're going to get results that maybe are not going to serve us. When we have a curiosity mindset, when we choose to see things from a different perspective, we have different feelings, actions, and results. And that's why in your team right now that is maybe facing the same change or challenge as you might be getting totally different actions and totally different results from a variety of people because we all have different thoughts about the circumstance. So our challenge in this opportunity is not to have toxic positivity. It's not to be positive for the sake of being positive. The power of the mindset is to choose a thought that's going to serve us. What is the mindset that's going to get the results that we want? So as we think about our challenge, we want to choose a mindset that's going to serve us. Maybe it's one of these on the screen. Your greatest battle comes right before your greatest breakthrough. I see obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow. You can choose one of these, or I encourage you to create your own. What is the mindset that you want to have as you're navigating this challenge? Pull out that action plan. Jot a few notes down. Is there a mantra that you have, a quote that you want to lean on, a walk-up song that you want to play when you're driving to work or getting ready in the morning to go to your office? And it's always really fun to hear everyone's walk-up song. So if you have a walk-up song, put it in the chat. Love to see it. Mine is This Girl Is on Fire, in case anybody was wondering. This is my fight. This is where I sing. This is where you get my very untalented singing voice. Love that, Janet. What else? What's going to get people through this challenging time? Amanda, what's your walk-up song?
I was trying to think about one. I don't know if I can think of a walk-up song.
You know, the song that it just comes, you play it, it comes on the radio, and you just can't help but turn it up and just dance away in your car. The one that gets you fired up. I guarantee as you're driving, you're going to think of it.
Fun song, Zoo from
Oh.
Zootopia 2, Shakira. I mean,
Oh,
that's a really upbeat, fun song if you just need to like dance it out.
oh, I'm going to look that one up. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
My kids will appreciate that too.
They'll enjoy it.
Any BTS song? Roar. Love it. September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, I could build a great playlist from this group. I have no doubts. All right, so in building our resilience, we've reconnected to our purpose. We're choosing a mindset that's going to serve us. Next up is community. I've already talked a little bit about this, but in order to build resilience, we need to lean on our community. Resilience is not something that we have to go hide ourselves in a closet and figure out ourselves. We don't have to do it our own. We become more resilient in the process of connecting with others in our most challenging times. And our network, the people around us, our connections, our community can provide a variety of benefits to us. In order to have that resilience, we need connection in healthy relationships. We need people who bring empathy, levity, and laughter. We just did a whole section on mindset, and I totally get it. When you're in the thick of it, the last thing that you might want to do is think of a different way. What's a different or a different way of seeing this? That can be really hard. So you lean on your community. Who is somebody who can help me see this challenge from a different perspective? When we have those connections, when we have that network, it reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. And when you think about your community, especially in this time of challenge and transformation, I want you to have community that is not pictured on the right, where you're in a deep hole and your community comes along and they jump in the hole with you and they just want to wallow in the sadness and the despair. That is not the community that you want in this time of change and challenge. You want a community like this on the left, somebody who's going to reach down, offer a hand, and find a way to pull you out of the mud. There is a great article from the Harvard Business Review on resilience and the people we need in our community and in our network to help us through resilience. And they suggest that we have somebody that fills all of these buckets. So empathy, work surge. And so as we're thinking about our resilience, we want to think about, who do I have in my corner that can fill these different buckets for me? So who is somebody that's empathetic, that is going to be the listener for me, the person that you can tell the truth about what you're doing and they're going to listen to you? For work surge, who's the helper? Who's somebody who's going to, help grab something, take something off your plate, help with the kids, help with transportation, or taking up something off of your plate? Who's your helper? For politics, who's your navigator? Who is somebody that you know that just has a good read of the room and can help you make sense of what's really going on? You also need somebody who can give some pushback. That helps you find your voice. Maybe helps you set some boundaries or say no to something. A visionary or a wayfinder. Somebody that can help you see past the problem, see what's possible. If you're struggling with your mindset, you just can't choose another way to look at it. Who's somebody in your network that can help you give perspective? Or purpose? Maybe you need help reconnecting to your purpose. And reminding yourself why this matters, why you show up to do this. Or my favorite, humor. Maybe you just need somebody that's going to help you laugh. Make light of the situation. So I'm curious for you, as you think about your role in the communities that you're a part of or the networks that you're in, which of these do you play? Are you the listener? Are you the wayfinder? Are you the perspective person? Put it in the chat. I'd love to hear. Okay, yeah, Clark's giving perspective. Probably asking some good coaching questions. Yeah, empathy, listener, lots of empathy. Perspective, but having empathy. Yeah, we can do both. Yeah, you don't need one person that's just going to give you empathy and one person that's going to give you vision. You might be thinking of one person that can do a lot of these for you. But the idea is we want to cover all of these. We want to have a little bit of all of this in our network. Okay, which one could you use more of? As you think about those that are closest to you, who you might lean on in your community, what could you use more of? What's maybe missing? Yeah, help. Helping hand. Any others? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not taking ourselves so seriously. Being able to laugh at ourselves in the situation. Life is too short, right? So that's what I want you to think of as you fill out this community quadrant on your action plan. We know that we want to have a well-rounded network of people that we can rely on for different things. Who do you want to be? Who do you want that to be for you? Who do you want to seek out? Do you want to find somebody who can give you perspective? Do you want to find somebody that can bring more humor? So I'll give you a second, fill out your community. All right, and then saved the best for last. This is the one that you said you all needed more of. You wanted to make more space for recharge and well-being. I heard you at the beginning, so here's our opportunity to lean into that. Resilience is how you recharge, not how you endure. The key to resilience is trying really hard, then stopping, recovering, and then trying again. Is anybody familiar with NASCAR races or car races that's like pictured here on the screen? In order to win the race, what do you need to do here? Pit stop. Cherie, it's like you just take the answers right out of my presentation. She's seen this before. Yes, in order for these cars to win the race, they have to make a pit stop. They have to come to a complete stop, have all of their wheels removed and put back on before they continue on. And our brains are the same way. They are like sponges. They can only soak up so much information before they need to be dried out a bit. And the great thing about breaks is even when we take time for rest and recharge, our brains are not totally checked out. What happens when we take a break is our default mode network in our brain is activated. This is the part of your brain that when you're taking a shower or driving or on vacation, that pops ideas into your head. If you've ever had your greatest idea in the shower or on the drive or on vacation, that is your default mode network. Because you've taken a break, you've stepped away, you're taking a rest from those challenges, and your default mode network comes in behind the scenes to connect the dots for you and provide the answers. So the DMN plays a significant role in our memory making, envisioning of the future, creativity, connection of facts and events to make meaning. So we want to take breaks. Breaks activate that DMN, and it looks different for everyone, but what the neuroscientists suggest is that we take brain-friendly breaks. So those are things that don't require our brain to do a lot of work. Taking a walk, vacuuming, gardening, showering, daydreaming, closing your eyes. Things that don't require our brain to be activated. If you're a Simon Sinek fan, I have a video that I want to show here on a little story he tells about taking breaks.
There's this great story of two lumberjacks, and every morning they start chopping wood at the same time, and every day they stop chopping wood at the same time. And every day, one of the lumberjacks disappears for about an hour in the middle of the day, and every day he chops more wood than the other lumberjack. This goes on for months. Then finally, the one who works all day stops and says, I have to ask you, every day we start at the same time. Every day we stop at the same time. Every day you disappear for an hour in the middle of the day. Every day I work more hours than you, and every day you chop more wood than me. Where do you go for that hour?
Yeah.
And the other lumberjack looks up and says, oh, I go home and sharpen my axe. And so I'm a great believer in taking breaks. I'm a great believer in turning off. When you have a weekend or a week off, turn off. Obviously, there's work to do sometimes, and sometimes it's imperfect. That's okay. But where we literally have never taken a vacation, I think that's unhealthy.
Simon Sinek's amazing. He's a great thought leader in this space. He's written a lot of great books. I would encourage you to check him out or Google him and watch some other videos. I did look it up. The lumberjack story is a proverb, so it's not real life, but the message is very clear. When we take breaks, we have an opportunity to sharpen our tools, whether that be rest our brain or physically give our resources a break. It benefits
There's
us
this
in the
great
long
story
run.
of two
So what we need to do is we need to shift our mindset around breaks. We need to see them as productive. They are an investment in our well-being, our resiliency, and productivity. Shift your mindset. Taking breaks is okay. It's going to activate different parts of our brain and help connect things behind the scenes. We work with neuroscientist Nina Nesdali, and she has recommendations for things that we can do to recharge in a brain-friendly way. And so her recommendation is to let tension out. To build our resilience, to rest and recharge, we need to get tension out. And that can look different for different folks. Maybe you love to exercise, and if you can get your heart rate up and sweat, that's letting tension out. Perhaps you are a journaler or you like to write. That is another way that you can get tension out. You also want to limit information in. Limit the amount of information that your brain is processing. So I know that I love to go for walks, and it's really enjoyable for me to listen to a podcast. I love professional development podcasts, and so I'll go for a walk and put my podcast in. But that is not limiting information in, actually. So what Nina recommends is that you spend the first 5 or 10 minutes of your walk, maybe it's on a treadmill or outside if you're able to, just in quiet. Just listening to nature, listening to the things around you, and really limiting that information in. And then the third thing to recharge in a brain-friendly way is to lower the barrier to entry. I hope that when you leave this session, you are going to be inspired and activated to add some recharge practices into your day. And you're going to jump right to it. You're going to be like, you know what? I have those crafting supplies in my basement that have been collecting dust, and it's not fair. I deserve to work on my crafting things. That's what I'm going to do for my rest and recharge. However, that has a high barrier to entry. You maybe haven't crafted in a really long time. Your supplies have maybe been buried under other things, and it's going to require a lot of effort to dust things off and get going again. So choose something else. Step into something that's a little more simple. Maybe grab a notebook and a pen and draw. Do something that's easy to do in the moment. You might be thinking, all right, this is my sign. I've been wanting to get that gym membership. I'm going to go out, I'm going to get that gym membership, I'm going to start working out 6 days a week. Pump the brakes. Low barrier to entry. That requires a lot of effort. Where are you going to go? Signing up, getting prepared. Do something a little easier to start getting your systems into practice. Recharge isn't just a goal. It has to be a system. It's not enough to want more recharge in your life. I saw the chat when we did that exercise. You all want more well-being, and that's great. You want to take care of yourselves. It's not going to do anything if it's just a goal. You need to have a system. What are the things that you're going to build every day to make that happen? Are you going to put a hold on your calendar? Maybe it's 30 minutes. You're going to take a walk around your house. You're going to lean down and pet your pup that's at your feet while you're working. What systems are you going to put in place? What boundaries are you going to do to protect those systems so that recharge isn't a goal, it's actually something you can achieve? So that's what I want you to do now. I want you to think about, what is a well-being practice that you want to do? What's going to help you rest, take a break, step away? It's going to limit information in, have a low barrier to entry. And if you have suggestions or things that work well for you, put them in the chat. Share the wealth. I'm sure there's several people on this call who are looking for ideas, things that they can do. Yes, nothing better after a stressful day than a great workout at the gym. Gratitude journals. Ugh, there's so much research out there about the power of gratitude. Huge. And again, if journaling is something that you want to practice, create a system. What's going to make it easy? When are you going to do it? What are you going to do when you fall off and stop journaling? How are you going to get yourself back on? Create a plan. That's going to help you stick to the things that help you recharge. Sit in a quiet space. Oh, that sounds so nice. 10 minutes of stretching before driving home. Love that. Low barrier to entry. Use the space that you have. Yeah, being present. Love all of this. Great. All right. You have completed your whole action plan. Up to this point, it's probably been specific to you and the challenge that you're facing, and that's great. I hope it's helpful as you leave here. And I want to challenge you. How can you bring this back to your teams? Maybe in your team meeting, you want to talk about purpose. Challenge your team. What is their purpose? What is their why? Maybe it's part of your next one-on-one conversation. What's going to help them get through a challenge that they're facing? For mindset, you can do a thought model activity with your team. If you have a time that you are regularly together, put the circumstance up and say, okay, team, I know this is a challenge that we're facing. What are our thoughts around this? Just shout them out. Where are we at? What are you thinking? Let them share. Get it all out. Maybe put it up on some white paper. All right, from those thoughts, how are we feeling? How are these thoughts making us feel? If we stay in these feelings, what actions are we going to take? What results? Okay, we're hearing you out. We're doing the whole thing. What's another way we could see this? Or how do we want to feel? Maybe we start there. How do we want to feel? We know this is hard. We know this challenge is happening. We have to get through it. How do we want to feel as a team? If that's how we want to feel, what are the thoughts we need to have? What perspective do we need to try on? So these are exercises that you can do with your team as well. If you're all in this challenge and stress and transformation together, work through this action plan with them. It's a great conversation. This is where I throw the confetti. More confetti. Celebrate. Congratulations. You made it. This is a long webinar. So glad to see so many of you still here. What takes this session from a good conversation to actual action is a commitment. And you're 100% more likely to do your commitment if you say it out loud or put it in the chat. It's a completely made up statistic, but I think it makes sense. So, what is one thing that you're going to commit to? You just wrote 4 of them down, so this should be pretty easy. But what is one thing, purpose, mindset, community recharge, that's going to have the biggest impact on the challenge you're facing right now? Put that in the chat. I want to see. What is your commitment? Yep. We've got community. We've got mindset. Recharge. Mindset and recharge. Yes. Recharge daily. Recharge in all caps. 2 exclamation points. I love it. Reframing my thoughts, having your own board of directors to help being accountable. Love it. Yes. So great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for all that you're going to do outside of this room. If you're looking for community, if you need to round out some of the buckets that I shared in community, I invite you to join us. We provide a free leadership development training one time every month. It's completely free. Everybody's welcome to join. And we highlight a module from our training program. So coming up next week, we are going to be diving into smart decision making and problem solving. My amazing teammate Jess is going to be facilitating that conversation. It starts at 8:30. It's virtual. It's a very similar format to what you experienced today. Registration is open on our website, and I invite you to join us. I'd love to see you all there. Take some time for yourself, for your own learning and development. With that, thank you so much for being here. I know that everybody's navigating a lot. Everybody has very full plates. And I'm guessing this topic was of particular importance to you because of a certain stressor or challenge. And it's my hope that you can take something from today and navigate it with a little bit more calm, confidence, or purpose.
Thank you so much, Corey, for speaking today with Metro Milwaukee SHRM, and thank you everyone for participating. I think it always makes these more fun when we have participation and can have more of an interactive session. So thank you, Corey, and everyone also who participated. We're hosting our next chapter meeting on September 22nd, where you'll learn about data with Caitlin Hens. So we're happy to announce, and we're also happy to announce that dates for our next year of programming have been selected. So check out the upcoming events webpage to see what we have coming up next. And thank you again for your participation today. Keep an eye on your inboxes for a link to the feedback survey, as well as presentation materials later on. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Corey.